Ta-da! What do you think? A shoe-in for Kingsley's 10 best-dressed men, wouldn't you say?
Gene, when I told you I thought you needed some new clothes, I didn't realize that you had such superb taste.
Walter, this is uptown,
Yes,
man.
well, if this is uptown, then I'm glad I'm never going to have to leave downtown.
Gene Foster, ex-pool hall dropout, suddenly runs into his long-lost Uncle Don's trust fund. Now, why wouldn't good old Gene Foster want some of his friends to know about his good fortune?
He would if he wanted to lose his sudden good fortune.
Ah, but isn't that the point? We return to Domi, bearing a poor self-image all along while flashing a healthy image of this.
Hey, now, you are not supposed to be carrying all that cash on you.
Now, look, wait a minute. Now, if I'm going to convince this phony Dr. Fazan that I've inherited a lot of money, I'm going to have to flash something a little more than a poor self-image smile.
Yeah, well, just remember that you are accountable for every dime of that.
Wait a minute, buddy. You don't have to worry about that. Once that lady gets a little whiff of this money here, we'll suddenly find out that Gene Foster has cosmic potential.
Are you sure that they would approve of your bidding process downtown?
Maybe, maybe not. It's just that I happen to believe that Prescott Development is going to submit low bid.
Well, I certainly appreciate your vote of confidence, but I'll wait till all the other bids are in before I celebrate.
All right, all right. I won't take up any more of your time. I'm leaving town for the next few days to return to Lake Forest and a couple of other cities to woo investors.
Well, while you're wooing those investors, you might want to mention the potential problem of the citizens of Chesterfield.
Rezoning?
Yes.
Oh, I told you I'm handling rezoning with City Hall. I don't anticipate any problems.
Well, I'm sure that you can handle that, and I certainly hope that you can, but that doesn't eliminate the human factor. I think I'd better explain.
Stacy, I need to talk to you.
Sure.
I feel like I owe you an apology for some pain I've caused you indirectly.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm the one who started that rumor about you and Russ. See, my mom was telling me about how happy you were, and I thought we were both talking about Gil. I even mentioned that I thought you guys were going to get married. And then she starts telling me secrets that she didn't think were secrets any longer. And she was telling me things that I don't think you wanted anybody to know. And, well, I'm just afraid that I might have messed up her relationship with you and her relationship with Dr. Phillips and his relationship with you.
Peter, it's not true. All the strife and misunderstanding between me and your mother, Dad, and even Russ was caused by my reaction to things. Or should I say overreaction. I simply refused to see the truth, and it finally tracked me down.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm delighted that you won a bid from Prescott Development on this project.
Well, it's just that I want the best my money will get me.
Right. Now, you said that you investigated me. So you know some of the problems that I've gone through in the past couple years.
Because of the Canterbury mess? Oh, yes.
But do you realize what that whole ordeal did to Prescott's good name? And what I've had to go through in order to reestablish this business as a solid, reliable one?
I don't see the similarity at all. Look, you got some woman very angry with you, and she set out for revenge and almost destroyed your company. Now, I'd like to deal in facts here. Fact one, Prescott Development is a good, reliable company. Fact two, Prescott Development is the best that my money's going to get, and I want that. Now, fact three, yes, the citizens of Chesterfield may lodge a big objection at first. But I think that once they slow down and start to think, they'll realize that Commonwealth Trans Express is going to bring hundreds of jobs to the citizens of Chesterfield. Now, they'll all be better off in the long run, Those are just a few facts. Now, if you want more, I got them.
That's all right. That all may be true, but it's beside the point. It's true that I wasn't responsible for the collapse of the Canterbury. It was sabotage. But the public doesn't read it that way. The truth came out. After a long time, it didn't do me any good. It's how the public perceives the truth. That's what got me into hot water. And that's what could get you into hot water, too, if you don't handle this whole project very carefully.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're getting at. Appreciate your concern. But I don't think we have anything to worry about. You see, I think in today's economy, jobs are the most important thing above everything else. Now, I can appreciate you're not wanting to become part of a project that's going to rock the community boat again. But honestly, I just don't think you have anything to worry about.
All right. What's it going to cost for Gene Foster to find his cosmic potential? What is it going to cost the Kingsley Chronicle?
Well, now, for the shirt and suit, at $7.25 plus tax.
$7.25.
And $13.27 for the socks.
$13 for a pair of socks.
But what? Wait a minute. Look at this. These aren't just normal socks. Check these out. That's nice, huh? They're French.
French?
Yeah.
Get out of here. I don't care if they're Louis the 14th. Nobody wears $13 socks. Oh, boy. Wait till Art McMillan hears about this. He is going to blow the top right off the accounting department. Do you know that you spent almost $800 here?
No, it's more like 1,000. I didn't tell you. You didn't notice these, did you? My shoes. Those are $180.
180. Well, are they French too?
No, they're Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
Italian. You know something? Over the years, Gene, I have spent thousands of dollars from time to time to get information, to get a story, But I don't think ever have I spent $1,000 to dress one reporter when he looks like he's been outfitted by the United Nations.
Walter, this is my Cinderella act, buddy. Now listen, I've taken some of the Domi low-level classes, and Dr. Fazan wasn't too impressed, right? But I come back with all of this money that I've inherited, and I bet I see Gene Foster moving right up the ladder of Domi. What do you think?
Yeah. Maybe she'll think so, too. Where are you going to tell her you got the money?
From my Uncle Don, if she asks.
Well, don't make it so easy. Make sure there's a catch there somewhere, like you're having trouble with the trust attorneys or the relatives have gotten involved.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's a good point. I know what I'll do. I'll tell her that some of my relatives that my Uncle Don wasn't so generous with, that they're contesting the inheritance, and they don't like the Domi session. How's that?
Good. But you're insisted on continuing and finishing up your Domi sessions.
And they'll prove that I'm sold on the idea because I'm committed by everything that I've seen so far.
I like it. And that way she'll think that she has you mesmerized.
But little does she know, little Gene Foster, he has a little hidden agenda.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm off to this Domi stuff.
Hey, wait a minute. One more question.
What's that?
After this is all over, Gene, are you going to still wear this outfit?
Oh, nah. I'll probably give it away to somebody.
Good.
I'll accept the socks.
Get out of here.
Lucy, I want a complete blood work done on Mrs. Wilson.
Okay, you got it. Come in.
Is the doctor busy?
Oh,
Hi, as
Hi.
usual, yes, but I expect he could spare a couple of minutes for you.
Lucy, this is the first time I've seen you since you've had your surgery.
Well, what do you think?
You look great.
Well, that's my hope.
Oh.
I'm feeling better about it all the time, though.
and looking better, too.
Thank you.
Dave, now come
Well,
on.
there was some swelling at the beginning,
Well, I think you look just wonderful.
Thank you. And then, of course, all the rich, famous young men are going to come knock my door down.
Well, of course they are, right. Say, look what I brought, some cream puffs.
Oh?
Dave and I will
boy.
take a couple
Girl.
of these, and I will give you the rest to take out to Ione.
Thank you very much. They look great.
They do look great.
Here's another one. Got another napkin?
Uh-huh.
All the rest for us?
Look at it. Well, we'll see you later. Good. Be careful.
Why?
Bye-bye. Thanks, Terry.
I didn't know cream puffs had that effect on you.
You're deceived, my dear, if you think it's the cream puffs.
Do you think you could let me go 1 minute so I can eat mine?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I ever want to let you go.
Well, Doctor, I've had my taste buds set on those cream puffs all the way over here, and I don't think I can wait 1 more minute.
All right. All for a cream puff, huh?
Oh, thank you. So how'd things go with Stacy yesterday?
Oh, marvelous. She apologized, and I think you could say that things are all quiet on the Western Front, at least for now. But she did express some fear, though, that, well, she might have gotten out of the hospital too early.
Do you think so?
No, not really. But it's good she's being upfront about her worries. I mean, I wouldn't want her to tell us that everything was fine and then have misgivings.
Is she still hurting?
Oh, I think so. You can't go through what she did and still not feel some pain. But she's finally being honest with herself.
And honest with us.
You know, I'm really glad that she apologized to you, too.
I think it's a sign of stability.
And maturity.
Agreed.
And you know what that means?
What?
It means that all the loose ends are tied up and now we can finally get married.
It seems that this is the direction we've been heading all along before all this happened.
And it's a direction I want to continue on. Hey, I've been calculating something, and I wish to show you something.
Calculate? The world.
Look, let me show you. I've been figuring it up. And in this little calendar, I think that it would be very good for us to get married on August 26th. I mean, look, it's the Sunday before Labor Day weekend. That means we'd have an extra day on our honeymoon because of the long weekend. And, I think one extra day of celebrating would be just fine with me. What's the matter? You don't like the plan?
Dave, I don't think that's a good time. I've been meaning to talk to you about this.
Terry, what's wrong?
I've had to face some things in myself that I don't like. Something that came up when my mother was killed. And that's hiding behind a lie.
You mean you don't think you ever loved Russ?
No. But I'm saying he never loved me. And I deceived myself into believing that wasn't true. You'd think, being a reporter, that I'd have objectivity down pat. Well, I don't. At least not when it comes to personal problems. Oh, I can interrogate a public official or a celebrity and gather all the facts. I can weigh both sides of a heated issue at 60 words a minute on my word processor. But when it comes to looking at myself objectively, I'm as chicken as anyone else.
Well, sometimes taking a good hard look at yourself is painful.
It's about time I did it. Even if it does cause a little pain.
I don't know, Stacy, I think you're being too hard on yourself. Because, see, when you're in love, it's hard to be objective. When you love somebody, you sort of, I don't know, you misread things. You overlook faults.
Misread, yes. Everyone in love wears rose-colored glasses, but Peter, as far as Russ was concerned, I was off in fantasy land. Oh, I remember when he'd write me or come to visit while I was in therapy, I'd have these incredible fantasies about us romping through some beautiful meadow together, or being at home alone, the wild storm. I'd be afraid and there'd be a knock on the door. It'd be Russ, and he'd build a fire and wrap me in a blanket. And then I'd snap out of it and I'd see those hideous gray-blue walls with the aluminum strips in the corners, and the nurses with their fake smiles, and the leaves blowing outside the wire mesh over my windows. And I'd remember that Russ was just taking pity on the loony that was me. I knew he didn't love me, I just couldn't face it.
Even I've had disappointments. Vicki Lang, Courtney, yeah.
Why can't love be rational? It seems so cruel that it's not.
Well, because if it was rational, it'd take all the fun out of it.
It wasn't fun when I realized Russ didn't love me. It was so painful that I hid behind a lie. I'm glad it came out, though. If he had left without letting me know how he really felt, I'd have read whatever I wanted to into his letters.
Yeah, but you would have realized soon enough.
No. I would have taken his letters and made them say whatever I wanted them to say, and would have told myself, everything will be all right when Russ gets back. But he never would have. We sound like a couple of lovesick romantic poets,
Yeah,
don't we?
yeah.
Everything will be all right. You'll find another Courtney, and I'll find another Russ. Only next time it won't be a fantasy.
Dr. Fazan, let me shake your hand.
Oh.
You know, I have come to a decision. I've made up my mind.
Well, what would that be?
I've decided I want to take Domi. Now, I don't just jump into anything right away, mind you, but after talking to a couple of people, I'm convinced.
Yes, now I remember that you were taking notes at a few of our early sessions. I'm always curious as to why someone...
I just wanted to make sure that I, got everything down, and I'm I'm not as smart as some of the others, so I have
Now,
to...
Mr. Foster, you haven't been listening. Negative confession breeds negative circumstance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm beginning to understand that now, and that's why I want to go on.
You know, as I recall, you weren't all that impressed with our first few sessions. Why the sudden change?
Well, that's just the way I am. I mean, I've been accused of being slow, but once I'm sure of something, no turning back.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I also remember that you were quite interested when that one gentleman was asking about the cost. Is the money a problem for you?
No, not anymore.
Oh, then your circumstances have changed?
Yeah. Can I share a secret with you?
Of course.
My Uncle Don just passed away recently, and, well, he left me a lot of money here, so now I can afford to take dominion of, what is it again?
Your intellect.
Intellect,
That's
right.
what Domi stands for, don't you remember?
Yeah, sure do. Okay, boy, isn't this great? I tell you, now I can really just move right up in Domi.
And you absolutely can. You can move just as far as your potential will allow you. Tell me something. You filled out a preliminary questionnaire, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I thought so. Oh, yes, right. Here we are. I made a few notes on your original application. Let me see. Student shows unusual hunger for the truth. Should progress rapidly as Domi principles are applied.
Oh, really?
Yes, I remember seeing your file and thinking to myself, this man has unlimited cosmic potential if he can overcome his self-doubts.
Oh, boy. That's for sure. Self-doubts have really plagued me all my life, but they're really going to be something of the past, aren't they?
Indeed they are.
Dave, don't get me wrong. It's not cold feet or indecision or anything like that. I love you. I want to marry you tomorrow. I want to get married right away. You know that.
It's Stacy you're thinking about, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there are others too, but I'm most concerned about Stacy right now. I mean, to have you and Kate split up, and the loss of her mother, and then all she's been going through.
Well, weren't you listening to me before? I told you that Stacy and I are, well, everything's back to normal now.
Well, I don't doubt that you've made headway, but you yourself said that you've got a long way to go. You've just made a beginning. Look, Stacy is very fragile now. I don't know. I just think that waiting a year is best for everybody, for her and for others too.
Always thinking of others, aren't you?
Believe me, it's very hard in this case. Oh, Dave, I love you so much. I want to be free to love you, and I want everybody to support us in our love.
Yes, I do too. Just that I get so impatient. I know how happy we're going to be, and I can't wait.
But we can wait, can't we? At least until October.
At least until October.
No one has ever told me or promised me that I could overcome my self-doubt.
That's because no one ever took the time to look into your true aura.
My aura. Right.
As I was saying earlier, Mr. Foster, we all have metaphysical yearnings, an ability to see through what's standard and expected. To some, these questions are unimportant. But someone with potential, like yourself, looks past the pretensions and conventions and can break away into the inner recesses of his talent and abilities. But only you can do it.
I like it when you talk like that, Dr. Verzan. I mean, I don't really understand it right now, but I will, won't I?
Yes, you will. You will, as long as you have a guide and follow our program.
Well, I know one thing. I'm always saying to myself, you're not your average guy there, Gene Foster, but, well, someday you're going to be something.
And I couldn't agree with you more. But remember, the beginning of a 1,000-mile journey starts with the first step.
Isn't that something?
And do you know, Mr. Foster, I believe that I would like you to take that first step as soon as possible. And I would like to be the one to show you the way.
You mean you and me, one-on-one?
Mm-hmm. I think it's critical for your development.
Wow, who would have thought of this? It's great, Dr. Verzan.
Well, what do you say to 4 o'clock?
Well, anytime is great with me. It's fine.
Fine, then I'll see you in my office. My intuition has always been right, and I know I'm right about you, Mr. Foster.